It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become Messiahs to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness by giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to become arrogant in the power that you have understood and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman. That's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look through our soul, we see nothing but the star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand. To be there to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle. Which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve, become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Dobry wieczór wszystkim. Witam wszystkich na 157. spotkaniu Publiczne warsztaty poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim. Dzisiaj mamy 20 maj 2018 rok. Gospodarzem dzisiejszego spotkania jest Jarek, Kuba, Paweł, Przemek i Marcin. Nauczycielem jest dr Keshe. Tematem dzisiejszego spotkania jest prezentacja tłumaczenia 223 warsztatu poszukiwaczy wiedzy z języka angielskiego. Jest to fragment od 15 minut do godziny. Oprócz tego będzie dyskusja na temat tego warsztatu oraz pewnie ktoś jeszcze dołoży coś od siebie, także zapraszam do obejrzenia tego warsztatu.
Welcome everyone to the 223rd Knowledge Seekers Workshop for Thursday, May 10th, 2018. I'm your host today, Rick Crammond, and once again, we'll be joined with Mr. Mehran Keshe of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute, who I believe is ready to go with today's show. Hello, Mr. Keshe, are you there?
Yes, good morning, good evening, good day to you as usual, wherever and whenever you listen to these weekly teachings. The Knowledge Seekers Workshops has taken root in a different way in different part of the world. And in so many ways in our teachings, we give so many messages of knowledge and understanding. And each one of us takes from it what it can understand and one can develop. Next week is the week where it comes to a month, which we ask the knowledge seekers to start developing the spaceship system, that we can see who might be able to understand more, that can share the knowledge with others. So next Thursday, we try to ask all of you who have tested, tried, anything to do with the space development in the motion or energy of the motion, to share with us. Doesn't matter how little or how big the system is the knowledge sharing that brings the new ethos in the work of the scientific world. That means we share unconditionally. It might not be nothing to us. Maybe we just don't even think what we've done is important. But it can enlighten somebody's stream of knowledge that they might add a bigger dimension to the knowledge of humanity with the space. There's a lot of development going on. As I said before, I have put all my effort to back the Chinese spaceship program, and hopefully in the coming weeks we will be able to show more what can be done, what has been achieved. It is a total inclusive space system, never been developed, never been shown, and it will be one of the most advanced systems. We expect to achieve lift and motion in a very rapid way, very similar to the Iranian system. I thank the Chinese team which is working with me very hard. We should be able to put everything together in the next 2 weeks, maximum 3 weeks, and then with the cooperation of the Chinese government to be able to test in secure environments with cooperation of all the Chinese forces. I thank all the Chinese government officials and the people who are in the background are accommodating such a test and such a development for humanity. No nation can be served better than one nation, which is all of us. And in that process, we all be benefited by the new developments. There are new technologies, new understanding, which has been released to the Chinese community for development of this technology. We are keeping it apart due to security reasons and understanding that when it's fully developed, it will be released. Many parts of the patent, which has never been understood, or the people who could not connect it, has been released in detail to the Chinese developers. This will change the course of humanity without a shadow of doubt. We will show a different dimension, not as a military, but as a way of space travel. This gives us new dimension. This will give us new understanding. This process, which is very much detailed, no one has ever developed such a system. It will be combination of the lift, motion, control, developed on materials, health system, everything integrated into one spaceship. As I said, we are working as a team of group of Chinese, and we will succeed. Without a shadow of a doubt, that will be the gift to Presidency of China, that through the development of this technology will enforce peace, through understanding of the power of the financial and economical power of the nation. We have nothing to hide, but in that process, the Chinese system, a space system, is so comprehensive that it'll bring shock into the world of science in every aspect. Many of you, you'll be shocked in what you will see, and it'll be brings the science of space technology some 200-300 years ahead. This is a decision I made in response to what is happening around the world. We literally developed the space technology to such a level that we make every machinery, every aircraft obsolete at the stroke of my pen. This is my decision, and I've decided to do it. And we will show the power of the new space technology. We land, will develop, and it'll be developed in such a way that many systems will be simultaneously released across this planet through the Chinese government. I have committed my foundation and the piecework of the foundation with the Chinese nation, and I stand firm to it. In understanding the new space technology and in what we are about to achieve, we have to understand new science, new ethos, new ways. One of the biggest problems for the new development will be time and space. There has been many discussions in the world of science. What is time and what is the space? And can we change the space with time, or can the effect of time bring new space dimension to us? In so many ways, space and time does not exist. The space and time only exist according to what we call gradient, depreciation, loss of energy, or time for the loss of energy as we have defined before. But does the time exist in the world of the universe? No, it never does, it never did. The beginning and the end is the same time. The structure is the process of coming back to the origin. In one dropping from or reducing in one strength creates space, and with it, it creates time. Time does not exist in the realm of creation, because it's all is as it is, and it's no more and no less. Time has become dimension of existence for man. When the man opens the new dimension into space, as we are doing so, we'll come to understand there is no time limitation. We can cross the boundaries of the universe in no time, if we understand the process of the creation. And this is what is very much puzzling to human being. He cannot understand that you can change the dimensions of existence through a strength of the field, and not through the loss of the strength. This is what has determined the life of the man, and the duration of the man on this planet or beyond. When you achieve the dimension of the soul of the man, this would not exist, as the soul travels or reaches the point of its, what we call, pivotal point, at the point of departure from the body of the man. We can give to it, or we can take from it, if it needs to give, to receive more, to elevate itself. But at the same time, it has no time. At the point of separation from the physicality of body of the man, the time stops for the soul of the man, because it joins through the dimension of the existence of the universe, which has no time and no dimension. This becomes important for our travels to space in a very, very short time, in a rapid way. How do we travel the spans of the universe when there is no time and no space, no dimension, but in a way We see the universe in the eye of the man and everything is physical. There are galaxies we observe. There are clouds. There are human beings. There are other entities we observe. And we put a time to it. 40 years, 60 years, 100 years, 1,000 light years. This is in the dimension of the existence of the observation of the man's understanding. From other strength of dimension, this is irrelevant. It's the life of a butterfly, one day only, if you want to consider it that way. What you call billions of years for this and that is literally is at the point of inception of the creation. Then we understand. For man to be able to create and exist in all dimensions of the universe, he has to understand the essence of the creation. The essence of our being, what makes one to be created and what makes one to create. Excuse me, somebody's we have to understand that the dimension of existence belongs to one thing, and that's the Creator. Once man achieves flight, and once he understands the handling and the process of the development of the fields and conversion of the fields to other fields, will reach and develops new plasmas, not necessarily matter state, then man will become very mature very fast to understand the rest of the process. At the moment, with the ganses and any other thing which we have shown, and as is shown in other research centers of the Keshe Foundation, we are converting the energies of the plasma into matter state. But the maturity will come when the man can convert the plasma to another plasma, or by conversion of the plasma reaches the point of the creation. What this means is the elevation of the soul of the man to a higher dimension. And if one day we understand this process, then man can elevate his soul to the soul of the Creator, to be in touch with, to be part of, but not ever become. Those who understand the word of wisdom understand what it means. So in reality, for us as human being in the dimension of physicality of ourselves, now that we take ourselves into the space, we find out this physical body of the man is nothing but mirage. Has no existence, has no tangibility, has no dimension and no time. Because once we create systems that are more powerful than what we know, we get diluted within it. We become part of it. Read my papers, read my books. I've written about plasma dilution technology. Maybe now you can understand more. Interatomic fusion is what we call dilution of the plasmas. When you dilute in, when the stronger power comes in, the tangibility of existence is nothing, become invisible. It's very much like you have a block of sugar and you drop it in a boiling hot water. The tangibility disappears. But the essence of the sugar, the sweetness of it is within the water. That will be what the man will become to understand. Man in the first flight systems will lose his tangibility, the way we see, the way we observe. But at the same time, if you let the water dry again and evaporate, you'll get the sugar crystals back. Not necessarily the shape you want, but you can still shape it the way you want. If at the beginning it was a cubic, now that you dry it, you can allow it to take the shape of what you like. This will be the essence of the creation or recreation of man in a new dimensions. Many of you expect to travel in space with the same physicality as you have, but you'll find out this mirage of thinking shall become another fallacy in understanding of man in the dimension of creation. The dimension of the reactors, the space dimension, is so more powerful that in it to be able to achieve this, reaching its destination, the physicality of the man becomes that sugar in our water. The powers are so immense that they don't lose physicality of the man in the dimension as it is. And then at the point of destination, the same as drying the water, evaporating it to find a new dimension in the crystal, as the sugar, the way it is, to apply the position or condition which has been applied to it, then you understand new features and new dimensions. There is a big question, how we always see what we call the people from outside dimension in the visuality of ourselves on this planet, because they do the same thing. In essence, in their shape, they are that block of sugar, which is dissolved but exists. In appearance to the man, now we condition them into the condition of atmospheric condition of this planet and the feelful of this planet. So they take the nearest shape to the man that man can relate to and understands of their existence. So shall be for the man. In a coming time, many of you, as you experiment, you'll find out you still carry the physicality of the man when you walk out of the space. But within it, you have no physicality but the tangibility of the essence of the soul of the man. As the physicality as higher dimensional strength cannot exist as it surpasses the energy and the field strength of the entity of the man as a human. There is going to be a lot of new understanding. There is going to be a need for new ethos in how we handle in the conditions. We were merciful to show the captured drone. Next time will not be there to be shown. Because by saturating, it becomes dissolved in this condition. As it has no soul, it cannot replicate itself. This is how we will enforce peace on this planet from now on. When man does not have the tools of killing, man cannot kill. This is the tool, and this is one of the reasons we are speeding up the new process of the development of the space reactors. The new spaceships, that multitudes of them can be developed, that every single tool of harm by man will not be there to attain and do. This is my response to those who claim a new war. Now the new war from Keshe Foundation is total disarmament. Absolute disarmament. The way we see the sugar dissolves in a matter state in the hot water, so do crafts and ships in the high value plasma, released and controlled. But as the soul of the man has control over physicality of the man can be manifested. Guns, bullets, and ships have no soul. So we end up with the whole process. This is my wish and shall be done. We can take the dimension to the strength of the soul of the man within these crowds, and then the souls are committed. Man will understand more and more. Now that we have committed ourselves to the new generation of the development of the spaceships, we make it pocket size. The new system is pocket size. It can be carried in a child's school lunchbox. Anyone who is a man of peace can set it up and develop it and use it. Many of you have been looking for energy systems. These new space reactors, these new spaceship systems create so much energy that any of you can tap into it from the source. The way man gets his light and energy from the sun, these will be adopted that they release energy according to the physical matter state of the man, that he can do what he likes with. Now we understand the new development. We can land, we can take off, we can do whatever we like with the new systems that man could not even imagine. As my team is learning more and more, I add more and more control systems that it can be done, that it brings slow understanding of the completion of the system. Lift and motion, creation of material, condition of the exertion of the soul of the man, condition of creation of energy beyond imagination of the man. Full comprehensive disarmament through condition of the electromagnetic fields and plasma condition that no matter can withstand. Now the war is on those who are warmongering, not on those who are the peaceful nations. You will understand and see the response to the new technology in a very, very short time. Will disarm any system which is created to harm mankind. Nuclear, non-nuclear. Without sanctions, without harming, we just take the tools out of the game. I have made in the past few days a decision that the Chinese spaceship system will be the most complicated, most complete system man has ever seen, and we deliver it through the Chinese government's military forces and and space system, and no other way. We enforce peace through the knowledge and the new understanding. And we make the tools of the war of the past obsolete. We've shown it with a drone, we will show it with nuclear weapons. There shall be no nuclear weapon that can harm any man on this planet to be an excuse for the others to create war because of it. But be warned, those who carry the nuclear weapon in their premises stand the chance of themselves. If I was you, being Iranian, being Israelis, being American, being Russian, work very fast to get rid of your nuclear weapons, because they will have no use. I've disguised myself on the name of the nuclear physicist, so I know what the game is. A nuclear warhead can only launch if the system for it to ignite works. When it doesn't work, what use does he have? War by threat. Lion with no teeth. We push through technology, through understanding of new science for peace, and we have the knowledge and the power to deliver it without a single bullet. As I said to one of the military leaders very recently, very soon the criminal court of Den Haag will be full of war leaders of present time. I wonder what they have to say. We saw the ex-communist war leaders to line up. Now we see the Western leaders to line up in the same court very soon, justifying the murders they have carried out on the name of whatever. Abuse of power at the point of being at the seat of power. And by return, we deliver the space technology to all the nations equally and simultaneously through the Chinese government's discretion and what they see in peaceful nations. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Keshe, and maybe we get you to adjust the microphone a little bit there. Thank you. Anyone in the attendees that would like to ask a question, you can put your hand up. I see Fernando does have his hand up. We'll need a translator for him. Ursula, can you do that perhaps? Ursula, oh, I think we have to allow.
I'm here also.
Hopefully. Thank you, John.
Okay.
Fernando, ¿qué deseas preguntar?
Okay, let me allow Fernando to speak. Hello, Fernando. Do you have a question today?
Fernando, ¿tienes una pregunta hoy?
I think he's opened it by mistake.
Sure, I can't see his microphone on my chat window anymore. I'll try promoting him to a panelist and see if he can speak that way. Okay. She was in. What happened? Fernando, are you there? Don't see. Oh, there you go. Oh, he came in.
Buenos días.
Hello.
Buenas
Buenos días, Fernando. Good morning.
Buenos días, buenas tardes. Gracias, John. La pregunta no es mía. Y ahora voy a presentar a un buscador de conocimiento y la pregunta no es mía, sino de él. Si se puede traducir, por favor, aunque él hable inglés.
This is a question done by a third party. It's not his, but this person understands English. So, ¿la va a presentar en inglés o en castellano, Fernando?
In English.
Fine, go ahead.
I am Carlos from Veracruz. Hi, John. Greetings from Monterrey. I am Carlos in the. Well, I want to know what the materials I need to make the carbon guns that talk in the workshop 220.
What do you mean by the carbon guns?
¿Qué querés decir? ¿El CO2? ¿El anhídrido carbónico?
The guns you explained in the knowledge 220 for the guns of the carbon for obtaining diamond.
The jeweler.
I want to create the guns of carbon for obtain diamond or the material carbon for make diamond.
Why do you want to make diamond?
I want to make diamond for me for
Is
I
she
want
beautiful?
for I have all of dances. Do you explain in the knowledge?
What kind of diamond do you want to create? And who for?
John. Buenas tardes, buenos días a todos.
Y Fernando, Mr. Keshe pregunta, ¿para qué
acerca de
quiere?
la producción de diamantes.
Sí, fenómeno, entendimos eso. Mr. Keshe pregunta, ¿para qué quiere los diamantes? ¿Qué uso le quiere dar?
Eso es lo que yo pregunto, pero el señor quiere saber. I want to create the guns of carbon for I want diamond for living Veracruz. I want to have I want have
He wants diamonds.
I want diamond, yes.
Then all the teaching is in 220. It should be
Yes,
easy.
I want to know what the materials I need. I want to know what the materials I need to make the carbon guns.
Carlos, primero tienes que aprender a hacer los palotes, aprender todo el sistema de la ética, el ethos, y después aprenderás a hacer los diamantes. ¿Qué te parece?
Okay, thank you.
Can you explain what you said?
I have told him has to learn how to.
De aprender a hacer oro para ser ricos, tienen que aprender la esencia de la vida. Pero era la pregunta del Señor y fue respondida.
Phenomenal. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Keshe.
I told him he first had to know, learn how to walk before learning how to make diamonds. And Fernando told him the same thing, but use the gold way of.
Yeah, there is something, I understand. A lot of people would like to have it. That's why I said, who is it for? Is it for the lover? So we have to understand why. There is something important which maybe we have to explain coming from this discussion or question. And that is, if you remember, when we produced what we call the CO2, one thing which a lot of people don't remember or can comprehend is that we created the field of carbon in the water, not a carbon. If you go back into the same structure as the dynamic reactors and you put in CO2, you created the fields of CO2. Many of you can do two things. You can take an empty ball and place it in the center of your CO2. What you'll capture is the essence of the carbon in field strength without any water. This is important for a lot of you if you understand what I'm talking about. But as I said, in the dynamic reactors, I was explaining this to the Keshe Foundation team again this week, because I think this is something a lot of you never understood. When you put these balls to motion, and then when you stop your motor, you see the gases collapse. But if you have left this ball in the center, the fields in the center, in that ball, or here, if you empty the bucket, have not collapsed. The ball carries the fields of the plasma of the totality of what is being collected. Because in these fields here, you have the gases which are rotating and they collapse. But here, the fields are created and is literally like the beginning of the creation of life. They don't have the same entity as the field forces from outside. Now, as these fields, in a way, if you look at it, have been interacting, they have created a different dimension of fields among themselves. So, the field inside this box is different than the GANs outside, because some has a slowdown here, some are at this strength, some have crashed at this strength. So in a way, this empty box, due to the man's eye of physicality, should be nothing in it. But if you have taken it from the center of a system, if you have taken it from the center of the box in a hollow ball, and you allowed it to create its interactions, it is a soul on itself. If you understand this, you can use this to confirm which is correct. Watch the field interaction between the two. Do you remember when we had a discussion with our minister in Accra, as I suggested to him, if he could not understand, and he accused us of selling water, and his son was a PhD in pharmaceutical or whatever, I said, take a glass of my water and take a glass of your water, and then add some of my water into the water cup which you have, and measure the alkalineness. And the minister shut up for good. It's the same here. Take the two balls and let them interact. You will see new phenomena. Up to now, every time you collapsed or you put the empty ball, you thought, oh, it's just the empty, the ganses. Because you're so physical, you don't understand, you don't want to comprehend, you have created a new life. Egg and a sperm, in multiplication, create that soul. That soul doesn't die because the body has died. This is what a lot of you who are working in the plasma technology have to understand. The longer you allow the system to stay within the dimension of rotation, empty or whatever, it creates more in-depth field interactions. It has a new life, it has a new dimension. But because man is so physical, it looks at, oh, I switched the motor off and that's it, it's gone. Did the soul of the man finish when the physicality of the man is gone? When you have an accident, you lose leg, arm, or whatever part of the body, does it take from your soul, or the soul is already created? And if you understand this, then you can even use the soul of the man to create the amputated part of the body of the man. This is what I explained before. If the physicians understand, when you remove a kidney, now you have to go and find a kidney. No, take a kidney out, but create a condition and the kidney will grow in there, because it has this gravitational magnetic field in that part of the body of the man. You don't need to transplant one kidney from one body to another. You have to bring the essence of the creation of it and space it. It will develop kidney. Where do you think the kidney of the man always places in the same place? Because the field interaction dictates This is a place for the kidney, this is a place for liver or heart. Now that we take dimension into space travel, we have to understand how we can make elements, organs, out of the interaction of the fields of the plasma of the universe. I want to make gold. I want to make diamond. No problem. You want to become a diamond dealer? You can have as much diamond as you want. But I'll give you a very bad warning. From some years ago, if you come up with a diamond, you have to come up with a birth certificate for it. Otherwise, it's called the blood diamonds and it's a criminal offense. So be careful you make very meager small diamonds, and if you make a big diamond, make sure your wife doesn't show it to no one, because then you have to show a certificate for it. Don't ask me how I know. I know. Now every diamond has to have a certificate. It was born, it's become a human, because now we can love and put emotion into it. And if you cannot show it, then it's a big problem nowadays. Or at least that theoretically what should happen. Any other question?
Governments want to know where even a certain rock comes from. They want to own everything.
Who?
Governments or whoever is in power. That's why they want to know where the diamond comes from.
Very soon, they want to know how much you breathe that they can tax you. And then if you become a man of space, you don't breathe, you pay no taxes. Any other question?
Yes, we have a question from Renee about plasma fields in general. Allow you to speak there, Renee. You should be able to go ahead there now.
Good morning, Mr. Keshe. This is Renee. I'm speaking.
You have a microphone in the background.
Yeah, you have to turn your speaker down or turn
Okay, is it better now?
Yep. Where are you from?
I'm from Austria.
Yeah.
And I make some experiments with magraphs here, and the question is about plasma fields in general. So, as I understand it, if I have two magraph devices, I have a field flow between these two plasmatic fields. And when I make a connection between these two magraphs with nanowires, then in my thinking, I made a kind of street for the plasma to travel. So the question is, did plasma travels always the short way, or did it travel through the nanowires? If I make some...
First of all, what you're talking about, fields of the plasma, not the plasma. Am I correct?
Okay, the fields, yes. I talk about the fields.
The fields of plasma, you can use nano-material, then you restrict it to the field strength of the material you use to nano-coat. That's a filter point. And on the other hand, you have to remember that the fields move by matching. So you have to have a match or nearest to it of gravitational magnetic field strength that you can travel or be able to move from one to another. If you have two maglev systems.
No, bardzo dziękujemy za piękny warsztat. No, był naprawdę, że tak powiem, mega. Czy jest ktoś, kto chciałby zabrać głos odnośnie tego warsztatu lub zrozumienia tego, co usłyszał?
Witam wszystkich serdecznie.
Cześć, Mateusz.
Jeżeli mogę, chciałbym troszeczkę może z innej rzeczy, ponieważ w ostatnim czasie troszkę się wydarzyło na przestrzeni ostatniego tygodnia i chciałbym troszeczkę to opisać, troszeczkę przybliżyć, ponieważ żeby może bardziej zobrazować różnego rodzaju działania, jakie robimy.
Mateusz, jak najbardziej. Nie wiem, czy będziesz chciał tablicę, czy będziesz chciał tylko powiedzieć po prostu?
Powiedzieć, tak, oczywiście. Chciałbym wytłumaczyć ostatni czas, ostatni tydzień, żeby po prostu każdemu zobrazować mniej więcej, co się dzieje, nad czym również pracujemy, odnośnie pracy z ludźmi, zaangażowania w pracę z ludźmi. W ostatnim czasie pracowaliśmy, w ostatnim tygodniu byliśmy w dwóch miejscach, pracując z ludźmi, a z różnymi dolegliwościami, z różnymi chorobami, z różnymi warunkami. Nie chciałbym może mówić, chciałbym bardziej zobrazować to, jeżeli chodzi o pracę, jeżeli chodzi o warunki pracy z ludźmi, odnośnie pól magnetyczno-grawitacyjnych oczywiście, warunki w polach. W ostatnim czasie pracowaliśmy z wieloma ludźmi poprzez gansy, poprzez pracę pól, poprzez systemy balansujące. Byliśmy w Lęborku, u Wioli i byliśmy u Mirka w Wejherowie, pomagając ludziom zrozumieć więcej, zrozumieć swoje ciało. Pomagaliśmy w warunkach równolegliwości. Nie chciałbym mówić chorobą, ponieważ choroba to jest tylko inny warunek w ciele, który po prostu nie może dobrze funkcjonować. Chciałbym zobrazować mniej więcej, na czym to polegało i jak to wyglądało, żeby bardziej przepraszam, tutaj delikatnie na chwilkę mi wyrzuciło, nie wiem, czy mnie słychać.
Tak, Mateusz, teraz już Cię słychać.
Pracowaliśmy nad różnymi gościami, naprawdę widzieliśmy wiele różnych osób z różnymi dolegliwościami, obserwowaliśmy różne warunki chorób. Jak najbardziej widzieliśmy dużo cierpienia w różnych, ponieważ ja mogę powiedzieć, że obserwując, rozmawiając z wieloma ludźmi, widziałem to cierpienie, obserwowałem to cierpienie, również słuchałem tego cierpienia, które pojawia się w nas. Jest to piękne, że w jakikolwiek sposób można pomóc, dając tak naprawdę wędkę i tłumacząc warunek emocjonalny, tłumacząc pracę emocjonalną, tłumacząc całe funkcjonowanie organizmu, które umożliwia w jakikolwiek sposób przybliżenie poznania, przybliżenie danej osoby do poznania jej własnej choroby. Staraliśmy się przybliżyć chorobę osoby, żeby mogła ją poznać, żeby mogła ją w jakikolwiek sposób większy bądź mniejszy zrozumieć, niekoniecznie umysłem logicznym. Tylko dlatego, żeby nie było potrzeby na strach. Czym bardziej rozumiemy swoją chorobę, tym mniej się jej boimy. To był piękny tydzień, ponieważ naprawdę duża ilość osób z różnymi chorobami, która uczestniczyła w procesie balansu, uczestniczyła w procesie przemiany tak naprawdę i elewacji swojej własnej duszy, ponieważ jak rozumiemy wodę CO2 i ciekłą plazmę CO2, jak najbardziej stan w momencie picia, spożywania wody plazmowej umożliwia elewację wielkomórek. Staramy się dołożyć jak najwięcej trudu, żeby przybliżyć dane osoby do zrozumienia swojej własnej elewacji, zrozumienia rozwoju siebie samego. Było wiele osób z różnymi chorobami, poprzez nowotwory, poprzez inne warunki chorobowe, poprzez kontuzje, które są doznane w organizmie, poprzez warunki, powiedzmy, usunięcia danych organów, gdzie organizm zaczyna funkcjonować troszeczkę inaczej, poprzez wiele doznań. Zobaczyliśmy wiele cierpienia u ludzi, ponieważ niektóre choroby trwają bardzo długo, niektóre dolegliwości, osoby zmagają się z nimi przez całe życie, ale są osoby, które nie dość, że zmagają się całe życie, są na tyle, że się nie poddają i cały czas próbują poznać tak naprawdę i zbliżyć się do swojej dolegliwości, żeby ją przełamać, żeby ją zrozumieć, żeby zmienić ten warunek. Widzieliśmy, który od kilku lat sparaliżowany i nie rusza się, prawda? Ma tylko odruchy, niektóre odruchy funkcjonowania, nie przebiera oczami, nie mówi, prawda? Jest ożywiony bezpośrednio do jelit. Widzieliśmy wiele warunków, może to być dziwne, ale chcę to tylko tak pokrótce zobrazować. Widzieliśmy, jak zachodzą sny, ponieważ w reakcji tego dziecka było widać, że tego chłopca, że na niektóre elementy reagował. Widzieliśmy również różne kontuzje, które też się zmieniały. Widzieliśmy, jak małe zmiany powodowały szaleń, ale również zamykanie, powiedzmy, jakichkolwiek, ale staraliśmy się jak najbardziej otworzyć zrozumienie osoby, tworzyć i własne zrozumienie na to, co się dzieje, pomóc w zrozumieniu całego warunku, po to, żeby można było go zmienić. Staraliśmy się obserwować chorobę, naprawdę bardzo głęboko wchodzić w to, co nazywamy emocją danej osoby. Chcieliśmy w pewien sposób stać się chociaż na chwilę tą osobą, żeby zrozumieć, jak ona się czuje. To były piękne rzeczy, naprawdę było dużo osób. Bardzo fajnie, że była możliwość pracy z tymi osobami, że była taka inicjatywa i że są piękni ludzie, którzy pomagają w tym, żeby pomaganie ludziom dalej się realizowało. Są osoby, które umożliwiają i pomagają wielu, wielu ludziom. Dlatego ja mogę tylko podziękować osobom, które umożliwiły mi chociażby pracowanie z ludźmi. Więc pokrótce chciałem przybliżyć tak naprawdę to, co się dzieje, to, co już to za rok, to nie jest za 5. Widzimy, co się dzieje teraz i widzimy, jak się to rozwija. Zaczęliśmy robić i że można, że każdy może to zrobić, że każdy, kto tylko ma ochotę, drugiej osobie. I to nie jest w głębokiej przyszłości. Widzimy, jak już to się dzieje. Wystarczą głębokie i szczere chęci. I widzimy, że naprawdę pięknie to wychodzi. Więc to tyle ode mnie. I jeszcze raz chciałem wszystkim podziękować i podziękować osobom, które umożliwiają tak piękną pracę i robią tak piękną pracę. Dzięki wielkie.
Dzięki, Mateusz.
Witam wszystkich. Mateusz, to ja chciałbym Tobie podziękować za Twój czas, który Ty spędziłeś tutaj, bo wiesz, no bardzo dużo pracy i z Twojej strony. Także jeszcze raz dzięki.
Bardzo fajnie, ja się cieszę, ja również bardzo dziękuję, ponieważ wszyscy razem, tak jak pracujemy, widzimy tego efekty, widzimy jak dusze są elewowane, widzimy jak się rozwijają, więc jak najbardziej wszyscy razem tworzymy całą jedność w pomaganiu i w służeniu innym tak naprawdę.
No, dzięki Wam wszystkim. Nie wiem, jesteś Paweł może? No, nie ma Pawła. Są może jeszcze jakieś może pytania może do Mateusza, może w kwestii tego warsztatu, ale myślę, że to raczej był warsztat, przesłanie, to co się ma wydarzyć. Te pierwsze 20 minut, no to była taka jakby, no, powiedzieć to, co się wydarzy już niebawem pewnie. No a drugie to już takie, że tak powiem, dla zrozumienia trochę praktycznego. Praktycznego w sensie budowy, tworzenia materii, że tak powiem. Kogoś mamy tutaj na... Ktoś chce pytanie zadać, zaraz moment. Jest Wiola. No już jest ok. Dobra. Wioleta, chciałaś coś dodać może? Bo dopiero teraz zauważyłem, że jesteś poza listą tutaj.
Nie, tylko przyłączałam się na komórkę.
Rozumiem. No dobrze, jeżeli nie ma więcej pytań, także zakończymy dzisiejsze spotkanie. Dziękuję wszystkim za obecność i do usłyszenia do następnego razu. Także dziękuję bardzo.
Dzięki.
To były 157 publiczne warsztaty poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim dnia 20 maja 2018 roku. Także do usłyszenia.